This video is a segment from the live stream linked in the description below. If you find it useful, be sure to like it. But if you'd like to join the conversation, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified when we go live the next time. I'd love to see you there. Until then, I hope you enjoy this video. So you could do positioning and then what's called relative gearing, and I'll talk about the difference when we get to it. And so go to our TCPU. We're going to go into our technology objects. First thing, we're going to add a new object and we're going to set up our leading axis. Say we're going to do a positioning axis. We're going to say automatic because we don't care about what the data block number is on it. We're just going to say okay. So we've got our leading axis that's coming up. And the first thing we have to do when we bring up a technology object is set up the connection to the drive. With a drive click motor and a S120 that you've already have set up, then it's super simple to set up. If you don't have everything set up though, you can run into trouble. So if you're setting up one of these systems, be sure to set up everything on the drive first. Commission it even, I would say. If you have the option to commission it, go through and commission the drive first before you go through and because going back and making changes can sometimes cause issues in the technology objects. You see all these red X's. We need to set up to where everything is at least a check mark. Blue check marks means you haven't visited the page, but you can use the defaults. Red X's means you haven't touched it and you have to set it up. So we're going to go through and set up on our Profinet system, S120 system. We want it to be our lead axis because that's the one that we've set up to be. We're just going to click the check mark and it brings it all in. And now, because our S120 system was completely set up, the data exchange, the encoder, all of that is already set up, ready to go. It knows that this is a Siemens Telegram 103. Good to go. If we wanted to do our fancy torque data, it would be available, just so you know. Now, one thing we would need to go through, and we're not going to do this now just for sake of time, you would need to go through and set up things like your position limits, your dynamic limits. So like how fast do you want this thing to actually move? You need to go through, set up your mechanics, things like that. All of those you would need to go through and set up. And if you're not familiar with that, that whole process, I would encourage you to go and maybe watch another live stream that's talking about Siemens technology objects live. I go through each one of these things, talk about the mechanics, talk about all of the stuff, and it's on the channel elsewhere. Get the VOD and look at the different chapters on those. All that to say, that's all you need to set up. You've got all check marks on your TO. So this leading axis is ready to go, ready to be controlled. So let's add in our second axis, our first follower. If we want it to be able to be geared into it, it has to be a synchronous axis. Now, one thing to note, that leading axis that we set up cannot ever be geared into a synchronous axis. So if you are wanting to use to kind of switch between your masters or your leading axes, then you're going to need them all to be synchronous axes. Remember, I just said all synchronous axes have the ability to do anything that a positioning axis does. So you can send a synchronous axis commands. You can tell it, you can use like an MC move absolute, an MC jog, MC velocity. You can use all of those blocks on a synchronous axis, but it gives you the ability to gear in, or it can synchronize to another object. So here we go. We're going to call this follower 1, add new and open. And so we're going to open up and we've got our red X's. So we've got drive here. We're going to go through like Profinet system, S120, follower 1, and click OK. Got all checks. One thing though, on a synchronous axis, in order to be able to use the MC blocks, you have to have the leading axis available to the block. And I'll show you where that is. So leading value interconnections, there's a section called possible leading values. If you double click or click on the drop down box, you get to select the possible leading axes. Now, any axis that is not itself can lead a synchronous axis. So it just needs to have a position, an actual position, and all TOs have that. It just so happens here that we only have one other axis here. Go through and set up the actual mechanics, all of that for the following axis. Let's go ahead and add a second synchronous axis called follower 2. And go to the same thing. We will go through this process again. Profinet, S120 system, follower 2. Click. Now we're going to go to leading value interconnections. Now we should have two different values here. We know we want to have leading axis, and maybe somewhere down the road, I don't know, maybe we'll want follower 1. Couldn't hurt. So we can add in this, and now if we wanted to for whatever reason do the opposite here, we can even come back to follower 1 and leading value interconnection and add in now our follower 2. So these are just what is available. If you don't have them in here, they're not available in your block. Only use the actual value if your leading axis is incredibly stable. So otherwise you're going to be adding errors on top of errors. Now we have 3 technology objects here. Let's go and try to use them. Like a good Siemens programmer, we are going to make a gearing function call, because we're not going to put all of our program into OB1. You're better than that. You could do it. Like, have pride in yourself. I'm joking. Obviously, if you wanted to, you could put all this in OB1. But for this program especially, since it's just going to be kind of like diagnosing stuff, we could put it in OB1. But I want to get in your head that for any real program, you want to break things up into function calls and function blocks. And we're going to create and open. Let's pull open our instructions, and we'll go to technology, and we're going to pull this up, and then Dynamics motion control, not Dynamics motion control. And now obviously we're going to have MC power, leading power. We're going to have MC reset. And we will want to have MC halt or something. If you notice, I am putting all this stuff in. I'm naming everything. So you're going to have all this stuff, and you probably will have to have a home. Because you can't do an absolute move without homing the axis. You could do velocity control moves and relative moves without homing the axis, but yeah. So let's go ahead and connect up these to the leading axis. We have to bring in a new MC power, and then for follower 1 power. All right, so we've got 2 axes set up, ready to go, and then we're going to assume that those all work. But remember, you have to have those MC power, MC reset, all of that stuff. The plan for this block will be to gear in follower 1 to the leading axis. We have these 2 different functions here. We have gear in and gear in position. We're going to just throw MC gear in onto our block. We're going to call it our relative gearing L-F1. So we've got our master and slave axis. And so all we have to do for this, we're going to put our leading axis in as the master, and we're going to put the follower in as what we want to gear in. we have a ratio in our block. One thing to note about the relative gearing, acceleration, deceleration, and jerk, those values are -1 at this. And if you're not familiar with the technology objects, these at -1 are going to be set to the default values. Okay, and those are defined in your actual technology object. Our dynamic default values right here. So these are the values that if in a block, if they are set, if your block equals -1.0 or any really negative number, these are the values that would be used. So, and you're sitting there like, why in the world am I getting this following error? And it could be that your acceleration is your default value for your acceleration on something is set to 1, and your motor just can't accelerate that fast. What this block would be doing is essentially, if you have your leading axis is sitting here turning, if this is sitting turning and you fire this block, it's going to use that acceleration. It's going to use the acceleration and deceleration to just get synced up wherever it is. It doesn't care where this is in the grand scheme of things. It's going to get synced up. Well, that's perfectly fine for most things, because the best way to use this is have them sitting not running, fire this block, and they get linked in wherever they are. And so it'd be like taking a belt and, all right, before you start turning, you put that belt over the two pulleys, and then when you go to move the first pulley, it's automatically going to move the second. So that's kind of how you can think about this. But if you're already turning, the following axis is just going to do whatever it takes to catch up to that. And that's what this relative gearing, MC gear in, just does. Wherever it is, just speeds up and goes. Hopefully this video has been helpful. If it has, you know, hit that like button and maybe even subscribe for more. But until the next video, always be learning. Bye.